All right, Mr. Brad Hughes, we are live. So, welcome back, Teach Better family. This is your Wednesday wake up, and I know you probably were super excited and expecting Ray Hewitt and Jeff Gargas. Obviously, that's not who is here. They are out supporting school districts today. But you know what? They really kind of went out and decided to look for the most attractive, talented, and funny people they could possibly find, and they weren't available either. Which is why they called Brad Hughes and I. And we're so excited to be here with you to have some fun this morning for our teachable moment, community spotlight, and our morning challenge. So we are going to be right back for a short break. Go out there, grab some coffee, and then, of course, join us. We'll be right back. All right, good morning. I am Josh Stamper. I am with the wonderful Brad Hughes. I just want to remind everyone watching that you can, of course, throw some comments. Brienne, you're on top of it. Wherever you're listening or watching, obviously we're streaming on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. And I'm so glad you're joining us this morning. Brad Hughes, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm still laughing about your intro before the initial break. It's I'm not sure whether we're the B, C, D, or Plan F team, but we're here and we're excited to be live with our Teach Better family this Wednesday morning, and excited to dive into conversation later on and just catch each other up on how we're doing and help our community stay connected and get ready for a fabulous end to a fabulous week in education.
No, I love it. Yeah, I think we're the F team, Brad, because we're the fun group here.
There you go.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. My world's a little upside down. We talked about it last time we were together. We are in the midst of packing our house up and changing time zones and going to a new state just in less than 30 days, which is incredible. So every day we're just kind of packing here and there to try and get ready for that. So not a whole lot going on in my world. What's going on in Canada right now?
Well, a lot, and we're just struggling through some lower than usual temperatures here at the beginning of May. We've got some wet snow flurries where I am this morning, and so hoping to turn the corner on some sunny temperatures and welcome in May and sort of spring turning into summer. It's a great time to be in education. It's also a great time to be contributing to communities. And this is what gets me up early on a Wednesday morning, Josh, is the opportunity to connect with you and to connect with people like Julianne. Julianne feels your moving struggles and wishes you the best. And we're grateful that Julie and Katie, Janelle, and Bree are with us. Good morning, Bree, and thanks for joining us. And if you are joining us live, let us know where you're joining us from and what you're looking forward to today, this Wednesday, and what you're looking forward to end your week strong.
Brad, I want to shout out Bree because, the last time we were together for the Wednesday Wake Up, she had a brand new course that launched, which is the sketchnoting free course. So it's on the Academy. Head over there. She did a brilliant job. So shout out to Bree. I didn't give a shout out to her last time, but I wanted to do that now because she worked so hard on that sketchnoting course, and I had the chance to go through it. It's phenomenal. So anyone that's looking for that strategy for your students, for yourself. I know a lot of folks use it for conferences and whatnot. So jump in the Academy. Like I said, it's a free course, and you'll find it there.
I had the opportunity to work through it as well, and great content. And Bree is just such an approachable and connective educator. Great content, but also a great person to spend time with and to leverage your beginning interest or your developing interest in sketchnoting, and a wonderful way to engage kids in learning and in making their thinking visible. It's also, as a former visual arts teacher, near and dear to my heart to see Bree advocating for visual arts and visual connections. The more connections we help kids make, and the more we help them feel a part of what we're doing, and maybe even leverage their strengths. I remember a time when kids may be called out for doodling in the margins of their notes, and now we know much differently. Much differently and much better. At one time, my daughter Megan even had to include permission for her to doodle and sketch in an IEP, which thinking back on it wasn't that long ago, but they're kind of remarkable to me now that we know different and know better that sketchnoting along with our learning is it can be a key part of locking that learning into memory, and also it's really connective when as Bree advocates, when kids are able to connect their ideas with one another and with each other through the sketchnoting, it really is a wonderful opportunity. So thanks, Bree, and thanks, Josh, for that shout out.
She does a great job of also, having some resources and research, as I can't talk this morning. So for that piece, I was thinking too, like as a student, I constantly got in trouble for, doodling and whatnot. And a lot of times the things that I was drawing had connections to the material, but it also kept me focused because, for myself, I was extremely hyperactive in schools. I did not like sitting there for a long period of time. So it allowed me to be interactive without disengaging from the lesson. And so I love that Bree pulled that in this, to her course, but then also, showed the benefit of how it can connect to the material that the teacher is presenting.
If you're watching and listening with us live, feel free to pop in the comments what maybe what a different sketchnoting has made for you or for your kids, or what you're eager to know about, or maybe it's about a teaching strategy, especially as we turn the calendar page from April to May. Josh, we're always looking to draw in strategies that get and keep our kids' attention and engagement, and let's face it, our own attention and engagement as educators.
All right, let's get engaged with some fun, Brad. Do you want to do a little would you rather?
Absolutely.
I think it connects. Good morning, Jill. So let's do a would you rather. Would you rather be able to use social media, or I'm sorry, would you rather never be able to use social media again, or never be able to watch TV again? And for those who are watching, throw it in the comments which you would never rather do.
That's a hard one.
I know.
I think I would rather stick with the TV. In our family, we find that time coming together around programs that engage us and that interest us and excite us. Again, really connective and something to look forward to. And let's face it, we all need things to look forward to, especially at busy times. And I'm wondering where you land. I land on the TV side there.
Yeah, I was thinking like stress levels. Maybe that's because that's my world right now. So I was thinking, what gives me less stress? The death scroll on social media, or a little entertainment on the TV. So I think I was going with you, Brad. We spend a lot of time, like, Friday nights as the family. We all get together. We do a movie night. So I think I would get rid of social media and keep the TV.
And a lot of our viewers and listeners are chiming in too that TV is the way to go. And social media has its opportunities, but also its ingrained stresses as well. And so many educators are leveraging social media for the good. And part of what we do as educators too is help to engage our students in conversations around leveraging the good and avoiding the pitfalls.
Yeah. All right, buddy. It looks like people are still chiming in. Anything else going on in
Well,
your
I'm just
world?
thinking, I'm just seeing Brienne's comment here that social media keeps her connected with all of us, which is absolutely true. Whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, or just hopping on a Zoom or a Google Meet, it certainly does allow us to stay in touch. The good news, Brienne, is that after our show, Joshua and I have scheduled some time to move forward with a really unique initiative called the Teach Better TV Network, TBTN. And so even if social media shuts down and goes black, Brienne, as long as we can stay connected on TBTN, Josh and I will be there for you. And we'll have our program scheduled out very, very soon.
Yeah, 24 hours of straight streaming of the two of us, extreme fun all the time with the F team.
Nikki says that she can be very discerning. She can be very specific in her social media needs. As long as she has the Teach Better community, then social media can go. And we'll do all we can to. There we go. Oh, Brienne wants to be an anchor on TBTN. Absolutely. There's hired immediately.
Done. No salary, but a lot of fun.
I want to say good morning to Keith Little, if I can. Keith is joining us from Sarnia, Ontario, fellow Canadian and friend and colleague.
Awesome.
Teaching colleague at our school, and Keith has moved on to a new community and a new position. And Keith, wishing you and family all the best. So excited that you're here with us this morning. Good morning, Keith.
Well, I think the social media piece is important because, because it's a would you rather, you don't get very many options, but social media does have its benefits. And, for myself as a leader, to be connected with people within the Teach Better family, has been huge over the last
Mhm.
4+ years. Just changed my trajectory completely in regards to how to become a leader, be effective on campus. Really delineate what is important within the world of education and for my own personal journey. So I think obviously I wouldn't have gotten all those things without social media and that connectedness. So there are definitely benefits, but I do love TV too. Not gonna lie.
We had the opportunity, Josh, to connect with a number of school leaders from all over North America yesterday morning in the Teach Better Admin Mastermind, and that is another connective network, restorative network, and a supportive network as well. And that's what I find too is in my experience with Teach Better is you're encountering genuine people who care about the work that they do and care about supporting each other in their important work, no matter what that role may be. And I know that the Teach Better community is stronger because of each and every individual that contributes to it. Whether you're watching and listening live here on a Wednesday morning, or whether you're joining us on a Sunday night for the weekly warm up, or any of our Teach Better offerings. I mean, every individual makes an incredible contribution to the collective, and I'm grateful to be part of it.
Yes. So Brad, let's maybe dive into our teachable moment, because I think that community brought up a good topic yesterday, which is ending the school year strong. I'd love to kind of push into that a little bit more with you. So if you're ready for that, let's dive into the teachable moment.
Let's dive in.
All right, good morning, and thank you everyone for joining us and sticking with us as the teachable moment is about ending the school year strong. Brad Hughes and I get the wonderful opportunity to join fabulous leaders all throughout this country. We talk on a lot of various topics, trying to help each other collaborate and learn through that time. And yesterday we started off the topic for the admin mastermind with ending the school year strong, and a lot of different things came up as far as our focus and where we should land. Brad, as a participant yesterday, what were kind of your thoughts, and where would you like to kind of direct this conversation this morning?
One thing I'd like to invite our listeners and viewers to do, if you can join us live and pop something in the comment, is let us know how many more weeks in the school year you are looking at. Here in Southern Ontario, school ends at the end of June. So turning the page on April to May means that we have, another 7 to 8 full school weeks to positively impact kids in our community. Others may be ending the school year sooner. But what came to mind to me, Josh, this morning and getting ready to talk about this ending the year strong? 3 more Mondays, says Julianne. Thanks, Julianne. 3 more Mondays. And depending on where you are and what you do and what your role in education is, you're going to hear a lot about ending the year strong and your challenges as educators, maybe by your school leaders or by your colleagues, to figure out how you can end the year strong. What I'm curious about this morning, and what I would love to hear and see from you watching in the comments, is what does that mean to you? What does end the year or ending the year strong mean to you? Josh, I want to turn that back to you. What does that mean? What does that mean to you personally as an educator, but also as someone who supports educators across the country?
Yeah, I think when we were having that conversation yesterday, the thing that came to mind was just the busyness of the spring. I think we always forget about that. I know I did. And then you look at your calendar for all the different events and the things that need to get done by the end of the school year. Obviously, state testing is a huge chunk of that, which I know folks are going through right now. We're going through that in Texas. So, trying to get through that piece, and then also there's all those award ceremonies and teacher appreciation week, and there's just a lot of stuff that is on the calendar. And for myself, it was unfortunately this mindset of like, just get through, just survive, because so many things were going on. As an administrator, long hours, having to be on campus for 16, 17 hours a day, just because of early morning events. The seniors would come back and we're trying to celebrate them, or a parade here for our 8th graders, and a event at the evening time for awards. So those days just got really long, and so for myself, reflecting, it was like, well, how could we do a better job of trying to spread this out so that our admin team or teachers too, we're not feeling so extended where we felt like we just wanted to get done with the year as soon as possible. So for me, it was like, how could we do a better job of planning, so that we aren't feeling so low during such a fun and exciting time. Oh, you're on mute, my man.
Thank you. The same thing is coming up for our viewers and listeners. Josh, is that sense of pushing through, hanging on, expending all the energy you can, recognizing that there are a lot of loose ends to tie up. There are going to be a lot of things that come up unexpectedly. And what I was reflecting on this morning, and we got into this conversation a little bit before I got on the air, is how frequently finishing strong may either be communicated or received to the educator as everything that you need to do and to contribute in order just to get through to the end of the year. And I wonder if finishing the year strong, as Janelle is reminding us, I wonder if it's about energy conservation. I wonder if it's about not an expectation that we're expending everything we have to the point where we're not really enjoying what we're doing and enjoying the people, but maybe it's about conserving the energy we have and being as discerning as possible as individuals to remain as true as we can to our values and to the energy that we have. I think of Ray Hewitt telling us about, giving today's best, and that'll be vary from day to day. But I wonder if it's not about an expectation of how much you have to give. I wonder if it's an expectation that let's work together as individuals and as in a community to give what we can so that we can continue to enjoy what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm curious in the comments too if folks are processing this and maybe they have some strategies that they use to conserve energy, especially during this time. I know, in our admin mastermind group on online, I'm trying to think of, the question was like, how can we set up parameters and boundaries for ourselves to make sure that we aren't working insane hours and maybe taking away from other areas of our life, like our family. And that conversation continued. But I'm just curious for those who are watching, throw it in the comments if there's anything that you used for your own energy or things for your own mental health during this time. As we've discussed, it's extremely stressful, and maybe it's on a personal level or maybe professional level. But yeah, I think, Brad, you're onto something, because I don't know about you, buddy, but I'm always feeling drained in the spring at the end of the school year, just because, like you said, we're giving a lot, but we're not conserving that to make sure that we're ending strong.
I think of an adage that you may have heard where you're reflecting on why you're pulling somebody out of the stream, out of the river. Someone is struggling to keep their head afloat in the river, and what it takes is a community with its leaders and with its associated community members to think and to plan way further upstream to make sure that when we reach April, May, and June of any school year, our expectations are clear, what we want to contribute is clear, and that there's no expectation on perfection, and there's no expectation that we are all going full out, all out to the point of stress, distress, or shutdown. We just have to be able to plan that, and that could begin right now. So, part of our end of year planning, as we're looking even ahead to beginning the next year on our faculties and campuses, is it could be let's be aware of what we're experiencing and what we're doing. Let's be aware of all of the ways that we're giving and contributing and expending the energy, and let's give ourselves permission to be critical and supportive of that process, to say, hey, when we get to the end of this process, do we have the energy and the reflection to say, yeah, we enjoyed that. That was meaningful to us as well as to our community? Because, Josh, I don't think it has to be either or. I don't think as educators we have to give and serve so much for others and to others in the community that it has to be so tremendously and personally draining and intensive. I'd like to see end of year. I'd like to see our faculties and our schools contribute in ways where everyone is lifted up, everyone is supported. And maybe if you're listening and watching right now, if your school community has found or is finding ways to do that, where everyone is engaged, celebrated, but also their energies and their ability to contribute is honored, we'd love to hear what's working for you as well, because it may not be working that way in different parts of the country.
Yeah, I think the permission thing is huge, Brad. Because I think a lot of times we feel guilty in some of those things that we put in place. I would also say, what are the things that you're passionate about? For instance, I think someone was talking about like how building relationships, getting in the classrooms, getting in the hallways, having conversations with kids, that type of thing actually gave them energy, to get through their day. And then sometimes they were getting stuck in their office or stuck in the classroom where they weren't able to do that as much, and that's where they felt drained. And so, I would give you permission to, whatever it is that you love, find time for that,
Mm-hmm.
because you need it. That's going to actually fill that cup. That's going to get you the energy that you need, to get through the day. Where a lot of times, for admin, maybe it's, teacher evaluations, getting stuck in meetings all day and not being able to have those interactions. Well, of course, you're going to feel much worse at the end of the day, in that setting. So, I'm allowing you, Brad's allowing you to have the
100%.
permission to go find the things that you love and to find time to do that.
I'd also encourage educators watching and listening, again, just to be mindful of and being ready to take note of and giving feedback to school leaders and colleagues about what you find manageable and what you find is expending so much of your time and energy that it's no longer enjoyable. Because let's face it, energy management is crucial at any time of the school year, especially at this time of the year, because the time and resources really as human beings are limited. We cannot, you've heard it, we cannot pour from an empty cup. We cannot continue to drive the car if the gas tank is empty. So there have to be opportunities in our personal and our professional community lives to restore that energy. And so you hear a lot about balance, and Lindsay Titus, our good colleague, will talk about sort of the blend and being present and being confident in what you're providing at any given moment. But it has to be baked in. Josh, I really think that there is tremendous responsibility placed on individual educators to give it all, to put it all out there, but also don't forget, take care of yourself while you're at it. I want to see a school communities function where we have the capacity to look after each other, and school leaders play a crucial role in that, Josh, in terms of monitoring and being open to and seeking feedback from constituents to say, hey, how are you doing? What are you feeling? Even if we're engaged in something and we're committed, we're going to see it through to the end. Let's also make it possible for us to be critical and positive about what could change or be tweaked next year to make it even more manageable. Because let's face it, if we're at the end of the year and we've all crossed the finish line and we are just crumpled after breaking that ribbon, there may be a sense of satisfaction from that. But I mean, I'd like to think it could be different.
So, Brad, as you have an extensive, track record of being an educator and leader, are there some things that over time you've put in place to help with this energy conservation, or, construct of boundaries to make sure that you're your best version?
Josh, I think it just comes down to, well, starting by, naming that as a priority in the school community. And that begins in September of any school year, is naming that we're a community that is committed to protecting each other's time, energy, and emotions, both inside the school and outside the school, to make each of us as individual educators, we have rich lives inside and outside the school. And so when I talk to my faculty, we say, we want to honor we do all we can to honor the whole person that you are, the person that you are within the building, but also recognizing that outside of the building, you also have rich family, community, personal lives. And we want to make sure that we're both advocating for and doing all we can together to advocate for your needs. Again, it's risky to continue to place all of the onus on an individual educator to advocate for their needs and desires, to stay aligned with their priorities, and at the same time asking them to contribute or overextend on a repeated basis. There's a mismatch there. And let's face it, educators are heart-led people, focused on the needs of kids and families in their community. I think way more often than not, Josh, the balance will get tipped if they're asked to make a choice between their own needs that they need to serve and the service itself. I think 9 times out of 10, educators are going to choose the service for a lot of understandable reasons. So I think it has to be baked in. As school leaders and as educators, we just have to be honest about and continually be critical about how we are making it possible not to put the onus on educators to look after themselves and to keep things in balance, but how are we helping each other as a school community within a building to do that? And then by extension, how are buildings priorities linked through district priorities to make that a possibility?
I love it. And that should be part of the culture of the school. And, for any educator, for any school leader, you have a part in that, to build that, to make sure that you are building that sense of community and support, especially during this time. All right, buddy, are you ready for our community spotlight? I think this kind of fits with our conversation and topic this morning.
I think you're right.
All right.
Good morning, Teach Better family. It is Wednesday, May the 3rd. You are live with Joshua Stamper and Brad Hughes. It is the Wednesday Wake Up, your opportunity to get ready for your day, whatever your important role in education might be. Get ready for a strong and productive and gratifying start to the week where you are contributing what you can, where you are, with what you have in the moment. And we have a contributor to highlight today, Josh, don't we, in our community spotlight, a giver, a contributor, but also someone who is deeply committed to knowing oneself and to aligning values with practice. What do you think?
Oh, this is one of my favorite people, and it was so fun to meet her for the first time at Teach Better 22 last year. And it's someone that I've personally been connected to, like I said, for a long time on social media. But Lindsay Titus is obviously the person we're highlighting today. She is, and people were laughing, she literally is integrated in every part of the Teach Better team. She is an ambassador. She's a part of our admin mastermind, the Edupreneur group. I mean, she's on our podcast network. I'm probably missing something that she's a part of that she does a phenomenal job. But, as far as Lindsay and what she does, she is there to support you in creating, everything that we're talking about, which is, having our best version of ourselves. So, Brad, what is it that she speaks on and provides in regards to resources?
Lindsay is such an authentic contributor, and she draws on experience, not just as a school leader, but as a behavior interventionist and specialist, and her expertise in partnering with a variety of educators to meet the needs of kids and communities with significant challenges that are both crucial to personal development, but also crucial to the learning environment is really what makes Lindsay tick. And as well, Lindsay is also a tremendous advocate. And as you can see on the screen there, a variety of free resources that are available at her website, which is defineuniversity.com. It's youniversity.com. And what makes Lindsay truly authentic is she walks the talk. She advocates for knowing oneself as a way of contributing what we can in the most, I guess, authentic and energy-filled way we can to our communities, and recognizing herself that she shares and is vulnerable with her own successes and struggles as a parent of two young kids, as a partner in a family, as someone who is changing and navigating different roles in education, whether it's school leadership or district leadership, and advocating for continuing to anchor and ground yourself in what is important to you, and coming back to that values-based approach is where Lindsay's at.
Yeah, I love it. She's obviously got self-care as the forefront, and I think that's such a timely topic for all educators. As Brad, you said it earlier, we are givers. We're there to serve. That's why we got into education, and sometimes we do that with that mindset of wanting to do everything except for ourselves. And so Lindsay does a great job of providing tactics and strategies for our own personal growth, but then also similar to what we were talking about before, of making sure that we are conserving our energy for ourselves, for our school, for our loved ones, because if we get burnt out, we are no good to anyone. So I love what she speaks on. Her podcast is phenomenal. If you go to teachbetter.com/podcast, definitely go over there, subscribe, because she does a fantastic job in everything that she does.
And she's available. That's another thing, is she's available. She She says she wants to connect personally with educators to help them on their journey, and she does. She does what she says she's going to do, and she does it in a way that's incredibly approachable. And as Katie Miglin says here, she's incredibly genuine, and is reflective on her own experiences, and is like I said, is vulnerable in sharing what she's learned through trials, hardships, and successes to help educators navigate the incredible work that we do, and also really, really respectful of the energy that we expend doing it too. So great to highlight Lindsay Titus. That's Define University, youniversity.com. And as Josh said, Lindsay is well connected with the Teach Better team and family through podcasts and other special events.
Awesome. All right. We are getting to the last segment, which is the morning challenge. So if you're ready, bud, we can dive into that.
I'm ready.
All right, so we have been talking about ending the school year strong. And Brad, I loved the strategies that you provided and some of the questions that are there for our viewers in our reflection. So, if you wouldn't mind, just giving us a challenge as we're kind of navigating through a stressful time of, what can they do to end this school year strong?
I've got 3 challenges, and they're all nested together based on our conversation, Josh. And challenge number 1 is ask yourself and try to get clear on what ending the year strong means for you. And I'd encourage listeners and viewers to also reflect on if there's a match or a mismatch between what it means to you and what you have the capacity to provide. And if there's a mismatch in terms of the communication that you're receiving at school, or if there's a mismatch between community expectations and what you feel your capacity to contribute in that role is. If there's a mismatch, I think at this point, take note of that mismatch. Because what I encourage you to do, number 2, is to be reflective and maybe take a few notes or save some things in a journal or conversations with your loved ones about that mismatch, if there is one, or if there is a match between what ending the year strong needs to be and to feel like for you and the community expectations. If there's a match, why is it so? What structures are there within the community, whether it's communication or norms or support? What's making it manageable for you? And my final encouragement is to continue to monitor your energy and to give yourself permission, as Josh said, give yourself permission to acknowledge that this time of year is full of rich opportunities. It is also a time when energy is expended at an incredible rate. Tensions may be very high, especially as things come up that are unexpected. And energy for yourself as an individual or for colleagues may be very low. And for school leaders, recognize that combination of high tension and low energy can be a recipe for some very challenging things that come up, whether it's miscommunication, whether it's frustration, whether it's stress, or even burnout. So let's all monitor each other's energy, and let's all do what we can now and in the future to make it possible for us to say we ended the year strong, and we know we did because we ended the year together at the finish line, not collapsed in a heap when that ribbon is broken, but we ended the year strong with energy, not only to reflect on the accomplishments, but the energy left for us as individuals and as a community to celebrate what we did.
I love it. So that community, obviously we are here for you. Brad Hughes, myself, the Teach Better team. If you are feeling like you are running out of energy and you need that support, we are here for you. So obviously our social media handles are on the screen, but you can reach out to anyone on the team. We would love to be able to, collaborate with you, work through anything that you are having issues with. If you need some strategies, if you need support, obviously we would love to do that. So I want to thank Brad, not only you for joining in this conversation, which I think is so timely and important, but I want to thank everyone for joining us this morning.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. And we're glad that we're a part of your Wednesday morning. We're glad that you're with us. And as Josh said, please reach out. Let us know how we can support you, or just let us know how you are managing these incredible opportunities at the end of your school year. And we look forward to continuing with you as the school year concludes and as we turn the page on a new one.
All right, Brad. It was a pleasure to be here with you.
Team F all the way.
Team F. Let's go.